did you schedule a call with that person?
No, I didn't, because I didn't know where to go. I didn't know where to go from there. I was like, oh man, I was kind of stuck in like, oh my God, it actually worked.
How's everybody? What's all the things? Tell me all the things.
Oh man, I gotta jump in because I'm pretty tapped in right now. So yesterday, Josh, because you was traveling for back to San Diego, but tell me why I went. So Josh, yesterday I went completely liquid. And not liquid, but unliquid. Like I invested pretty much almost every dollar I had into something like my SEP IRA, crypto, and I was pretty much like no money in my bank accounts. And today I made $2,000, the easiest $2,000 ever. And so just like, wow, it's pretty crazy what happens when you burn the ships. Like, and no plans. Where I'm just like, yo, like I'm just gonna. And it's just, man, it was just a great sign. And yeah, so I'm pretty stoked about that, and I got a lot of stuff I want to drop today, man. And we're gonna give the audience some love today, right? So you guys get to buckle in for a hell of a show. So, but yeah, man, what's up with you, man? What updates you got?
First of all, congratulations, bro. That's awesome. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you. I can hear you.
Perfect. Well, shout outs to Desmond and Audio Pro. For the microphone, I definitely appreciate it. Good sound, good audio is necessary. So hey, let's get it. I'm doing well. Just got back, just still getting acclimated, getting back in the swing of things. But I think I'm at a place right now where I've been thinking about that conversation we had the other day. Like that's been on my mind like for the past 2 days now. Very powerful stuff. Definitely want to unpack more of it, but just really figuring out the next steps in this journey right now, as far as acquiring more customers, just really being able to build this stuff out to the level at which I know my value is, because I believe that Desmond, I feel like you can attest to it as well, or just knowing my journey. But I definitely feel like I've watered myself down as far as the value that I know I can bring for a very long time. And yeah, I'm just ready to start change stuff up, do stuff different. For this next year, I don't want my life to ever be the same. I'm grateful for the journey and what it's brought up to this point, but realizing that there's a lot more for me out here to get and to hold on to and to inspire the world with. And I realized that I've been playing small for a very long time. Not really sure as far as the next steps, and I think that's where I get stuck up on is the how of everything. But hearing stories like that about illiquidating yourself, just allowing that to be the source that then provide, brings more back into your bosom, or your own your space. It's powerful. So definitely want to vibe with that energy and keep running with it.
Oh,
so
bro,
I appreciate that.
Yo, since the New Year's coming up, man, like the first thing I want to say, like straight up, is New Year's resolutions are like Santa Claus wish list. Like when I hear someone says like my New Year's resolution is like blase, it like triggers me so much, because like it's like you can have goals for the year, but like the only way to like attainably like crush it and like actually follow through with your self-confidence, because when you put something out in the universe, like it's more about like, can you keep the word with yourself to execute? And that taps away at your worthiness. So like, if you don't attain that, like you're literally doing a detriment to your own unconscious mind. So I'm a big fan of like turning years into quarters. And then Heather, told me yesterday, I mean, she brought this up, and I'm definitely working on this, but then you run into the risk of like crashing and burning and like needing to restart, right? Because you're putting so much energy, so much like power in such a short period of time that you can not once
I'm going to cut you off.
I'm
going to cut you off. Okay, so it's not about putting too much into something or burning necessarily. It's about time efficiency, like how you use your time, how you generate. So the quantum theory, like not quantum theory, The proven theory around energy is it cannot be created nor destroyed, but dispersed. So you can move it, you can change it, you can shift it, but you can't make it and you can't destroy it. Okay. It's energy just there. With that being said, if you get like, you're like, hey, I'm coming out of a recovery, I know what I'm doing. Like I'm on a roll, I'm ready to go. You can't just slam on the gas pedal and run, because you're going to burn through your energy instead of using that force production wisely and consistently to create more energy, to give you more gas, and using that gas going faster than you used to, but yet doing it on repeat, because it won't burn you out. The truth is that's where burnout starts. Burnout doesn't come from it, but it sure starts there.
Yeah, I don't think I've been blessed to say that I haven't experienced like, I mean, I guess you could say that, but
you're young.
I haven't experienced
why.
burnout. I experienced like crashes, like in terms of like, all right, I need to chill for like a week, or like I need to like zoom out and and make sure I'm going in the right direction. But I haven't like, had those crises yet, but
they will come.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yes.
They will come.
Yeah. I'm preparing mentally for them. I got my David Goggins mindset for when they come, right? I'm preparing myself. So yeah, man, Josh, how was the end of your Miami trip, man? Like, did you, was it successful, chilling with your girl? Did you handle any business while you're there? Do you just kind of like just relax and enjoy yourself a little bit more?
So it was actually it went really well. I didn't end up doing business stuff. I really took your advice and just decided to be present. I had initially started that process of, reaching out to a couple of people that I know that are out in Miami. Say, hey man, like I'm here, let's meet up, let's, get a shoot going and all that. Then after, I think it was one of the podcast episodes, you had just said, hey, just, have fun with it. Just be present. Don't be so focused on work. Cause that's one of my obsessions in a way. I think it's tied into some fear, to be honest, but is overworking. And I allowed myself to be present out there and just enjoy the process. And I actually was able to, meet her family. And that was really, it was different, because she's Dominican. So it was an awesome time with her and her family, dancing, eating, just everybody laughing, having a great time and all that. So definitely put things in perspective for me as far as, life and what I'm even doing all this stuff for. And yeah, just ready to experience a lot more of these type of, moments and opportunities and experiences in life. So yeah, Miami's different though too. You go out there, you have to have your right mindset. I'll tell you that.
I was there for like 6 hours before I flew here to Colombia, and I was like, all right, I'm probably going to end up moving here when I come back to the States, right? Like, because it was almost like San Diego, like weather, but it was just kind of different energy, right? Which was pretty interesting. And then obviously crypto is really big there, which is another reason why I definitely want to move there.
100%. Miami Beach, that's where it's at as far as crypto goes. So
yeah, so I'm for sure going there. So Josh, man, here's a quick update, man. So because once again, like we're just doing this very openly, very transparently for the audience, and we want to give as much free game and behind the curtain access, right? A little fun. So we're gonna build this pod in public, man, right? We're gonna build this pod in public, and yesterday we talked about distribution. And a part of that talk about distribution, we were talking about like, what I put in the group chat in terms of like, like we all individually get to get on 10 guest podcasts and just give free value, right, to audiences, right? And I'm just giving game because he wasn't on. And so like, I wanted to create a quick update on that because I was like in the process today, I was like, I created like 14. I put 14 on my list so far, 14 people. And then I asked myself, because once again, capital allocation is definitely going to be another podcast, another podcast. But then I was thinking, I was like, okay, great. The value I provide to this process is actually like doing the home, like the personal homework, the filter and the reach out, right? And so I was like, man, do I need to spend my time right now, like actually curating the list? And so I was like, there has to be an easier way. It is. I punted it to my chief of staff. She's probably going to watch this episode before we edit it, but I punted it to her and I was like, yo, you have the green light to like pay a data entry person just to fill out this Excel sheet. I want them to fill it out exactly how I want, like not just like name and title, but like go into the episodes and like what is in alignment with the brand, what it's in alignment, like just a general list. And then I'm going to go through that list and pick, 10 at a time to like, okay, who do I want to listen to? And then kind of go through the process there. But I just saved myself like 5 hours of time by Friday.
Or more.
Yeah, or more. It was like the 14 I got took me like an hour to do because I was like actually going through it. Like I have like a super detailed spreadsheet, and I was like, all right, I got to pay someone to do this and pay someone like, I don't know, $50, $100, whatever to do it. Cause 5 hours, if I bill out $350 to $500, sometimes $1,000, just kind of depends on the problem. I'm paying a lot of money to myself to do this. So I was like, okay, I could do some arbitrage here. So that was my quick update, real quick, and we'll give you some more results of what's happening. But that list should be done by Friday, so I can start listening to pods all weekend. So it's kind of my quick update. And if you guys want some of these recommendations, I will definitely send you guys the list once it's done on Friday. If you guys want to take a peek at it.
Of course I do.
Yeah, I probably will tell her to do I'm telling her to do 100 a week, probably. I think that makes a lot more sense. 100 a week for 4 or 5 weeks, or find someone who could do it 100 a week. And then we could just like kind of sift through the list and see who's the best fit for the podcast. So that's my quick update.
I can also have my assistant send all the reach out. No.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah, we already have it templatized. Yep. Let's definitely do that. Let's hack this a little bit.
Done.
Yeah.
This is what we call collaborative solving of problems. If you do this, I'll do that. If I do this, you do that. And then guess what? It's done.
Yep. So you guys are already on it, man. I got to catch up. Oh, man.
It's okay.
Man, you're already on
to solve the problem for everybody.
Yeah, you're on the rocket ship, bro. Like that's what teams are for.
Welcome to how we do business.
Yeah, rocket ships.
Yeah, I need that. So I appreciate it. It's funny that you said that because you just gave me an idea, Desmond, as far as because the mindset thing that I've been working on that I was talking about earlier in the podcast is should I, knowing this end of the year, should I be doing reach out right now, or should I just wait till the beginning of the year type of stuff?
Desmond, what did I say yesterday?
Ooh. Regarding distribution or
regarding reaching out to people. What did I say about what people are doing right now?
People are definitely not checking their emails. People are definitely not checking their emails.
Now, that doesn't mean that you don't do reach out, but I laughed at him and I said, yeah, you want me to have 10 of them scheduled? You do realize it's Christmas break, right? Mm-hmm. So if kids are not in school, none of these motherfuckers are checking their emails. Not unless they're like me, an obsessive. An obsession doesn't necessarily, most of the entrepreneurs that we rub elbows with they already have families. They have kids. They have other things in the world. Their number one love wasn't business. I mean, it's not that it isn't or it wasn't, but they have other things that get to have their attention. And I just kind of giggled. I said, we'll see about that. Man,
I would say the only thing I would do in terms of reach outs, I'm a big fan of blue fishing, guys, which is like doing things out of the ordinary. And Josh, you know how I roll, bro. I will pull out the goddamn Christmas cards and I will send out some like handwritten Christmas cards to like 10 to 20 people that I like love, like not attached to like give me a call, but like something very personalized, and I'll send them out. I don't even know, Heather, did you even get my card I sent you? I feel like I sent you a card like 2-3 months ago. I don't think you got it because you had to text me. But
did you not get the picture that I sent you of me that took of me crying?
No, you didn't. I did not get that. I was like, man, did she get it or she ignoring me right now? I was like, man, I put my heart and soul in it.
I was just getting ready to say, like you get props because your like handwritten personal cards are very personalized. That got the mail that afternoon and we had errands to run. And I was opening it in the car and I just started like bawling. And he was like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, he was like, not audible. Try again. Use your words. Can't understand you. And I finally got out of my mouth who had sent it. And he was like, oh, he's like, you mentor him. And I was like, yeah. I was like, mini me. And he goes, oh my gosh. And I was like, and all of a sudden I hear this click, click. And I'm like, what are you doing? I was like, are you taking pictures of me doing sad, gross, ugly crying? Ew. I was so mad. It was super funny. Super
I
funny.
need that picture. That's gonna be That's gonna be your new profile picture on my phone. Yo, Josh, bro, tell the audience what happened when we sent cards out. Like when you take the time and personalize, like actually drop in and like give a damn about people. It's incredible what happens, right?
Yeah, it's definitely an endless supply of man, it's weird. It's like a mix of like gratitude, it's connection, it's love. It's like it's randomness in a way. Like Desmond actually challenged me some time ago to send 100 letters, like handwritten letters. It took me forever, but send like 100 letters out to different like real estate agents and investors. And it's crazy because I'm still getting like messages. I even sent one to Desmond I think it was last week, the week before, of a guy that just added me on Facebook. And I was like, man, thank you so much for the handwritten letter. You can call me anytime you want. And I was just like, wow, like I knew blue fishing. He had me read the book, and he like religiously lives by bluefish marketing, and realizing like it really took us back to like the whole, even ALA, for instance, that whole experience. And when he reminded me of that and the mailbox situation, I finally understood what the power of that was. Just realizing that somebody in this world is thinking about you at any given moment. And although you might not know exactly what moment that is that that you might receive something, it's such a powerful thing knowing that somebody's, thinking of you in that way. And they're actually putting like Heather said earlier, that energy towards something that they're gifting you that you were never expecting. Those are some of the most amazing gifts that you could ever receive in life are the most unexpected things. So that method of marketing, I definitely need to apply that, especially when it comes to like businesses, schools, and all that stuff. So
it's a lifestyle, bro. 100%. It's a lifestyle, bro. Like I don't think I'll ever go back. Like, and honestly, the one we're talking about this, we're gonna do this for the pod for sure. We're gonna do this for the pod. I'm gonna send postcards out from freaking Colombia. I like the postcard game. It's like another level. It's like, wow, you sent me something from another country, right? And but yeah, so look out for your mailbox, guys, because I'll probably end up sending you something here pretty soon for the holidays. But I was going to send. So yesterday I was like, me and Heather was talking after the pod for a couple hours, and I was like, yo, I did this Colombian experience in the mountains of like, the coffee and all that. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna send you an AirPress thing. Like and she was like, does it take manual work to do? And I was like, yeah, it's a little bit, right? You gotta like, grind the beans and like press it a little bit. She was like, I'm not gonna use it.
Nope.
She's like, save your money. I was like, yep. I appreciate it. All right, I'll think of something else that's like effortless and I'll send it to you. She's like, send me some pods.
If it fits in the Keurig, it works. Otherwise, like coffee at my house does not happen any other way. Super clear about the fact that it takes everything in me to like make coffee before I wake up because I like to take my time waking up. And so you make coffee and it just needs to be quick. It needs to be a simple fucking process.
Yeah.
So she's a different type of coffee connoisseur, huh?
Yeah, I'm not necessarily. I like good coffee. I like good coffee beans for sure, but I'm not attached to the process of the coffee. No. I am attached to the coffee being done in 90 seconds.
Oh man. Yeah, I get it though. I get it. At least you're self-aware. You understand that about yourself.
Yep.
One question I did want to ask both of you guys. I would love to get your take on this because one of the things throughout since we're talking about bluefish marketing, one of the things and how it's a lifestyle. One of the things that I feel like I find myself doing is I hold myself back from sending letters and sending all that because from a business perspective or maybe like from a financial perspective, I feel like, I don't have money to spend right now on bluefish marketing, that type of stuff. What's your take on that? Because I know that that's an area of where I get resistance in, and I know that that's something that, is really been impactful, especially Desmond. I know that's something that's been very impactful for you. So,
bro,
this is the cheapest marketing you'll ever come across.
Ever. I mean, Jesus Christ, bro. You know how much people spend for a customer? Like $100 to $1,000, maybe sometimes even more. So like to spend like $10 on a pack of envelopes and $20 for some stamps, and all you're investing is a little bit of time, right? Like it's worth its weight in gold.
Yep.
It's not even close. Like it's more powerful than an email because it's something that they can touch in their hand. Like there's a reason why. I know this is off topic, but I'm trying to, I want this to land because it's important for human conditioning. It's a reason why, for instance, in Latin America, 66% of these people are unbanked because they like to have physical cash in their hand. Yes, they can get credit cards, but it's something about psychologically about having cash in your hands. And so like them opening up a letter and like actually filling it, even if it only has 2 sentences on there, feels different than opening up an email. Having a wad of cash in your hand feels different than seeing the zeros on your bank account. It just feels different because it's a sensory experience. So, and here's another thing. It's not so there's 2 things. There's one thing for sure coming up for me that based upon what you said is that, dude, like this is the secret to like crushing it. And the audience, hope you're listening up and write this down. I say this to myself every freaking day, especially if I'm in my stuff. It's not about me. It's about what's possible for them. It's not about me. It's about what's possible for them.
Yep.
That's it. Because when you're thinking about them, you're not even thinking about the $5 you're spending, $10 or 20 minutes you're spending.
Oh, I mean, good Lord. The things that you need to do, like personalized cards, personalized reach outs, cost less than what you spend on coffee in the afternoon. I guarantee it. And I know that you operate like we do, which means like, if you need coffee, you pull up to a Starbucks, you just get it done. It's a time thing. But what you put into it, you'll get back 100-fold.
So, I like that. Thank you.
Not to mention the fact, if you're thinking about our previous conversation, our previous pod recording, like let me just give you this piece. If you had a way to easily drop in and get emotionally centered on what needed to be done in your business to make the needle move, that was right in front of you and easy as pie, would you do it?
Can you ask that again? I just want to make sure I'm understanding.
If you knew that there was a way, something you could do that took that you had the skill set, took nothing from you, that would make the needle in your business move faster, would you do it?
100%.
Then do this marketing. It drops you in a different spot. Yeah. Different spot in your heart.
And I was going to say, like, bro, people are replying. We talked about this in the last episode as well, man. Josh, you for sure, you get to listen to that one once it's edited. But, dude, you get paid on a follow up.
Oh God.
The fact that someone they went through their day, their busy ass day where they can be collecting the bag. They found you, like, who the heck is this person? And they not only seen who you are, but they added you and sent you a message. What do you do with that? Let me ask you this question, because if you didn't do it, we're gonna unpack some of this episode. Did you schedule a call with that person?
No, I didn't, because I didn't know where to go. I didn't know where to go from there. I was like, oh man, I was kind of stuck in like oh my God, it actually worked. I was really stuck in that space. And that's why I sent you the message right away, because I didn't know what to do with that.
Yeah. So this is what you're gonna do, man. This is what you're gonna do. We're doing live. We're giving live coaching here on the pod for the sales.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Oh man. All right. I'm gonna chill.
Do not apologize. Absolutely do not apologize. This is our favorite thing to do.
So this is what you're going to do, man. You're going to send this guy a holiday message, because it's not about the bag. It's about the connection. It's about actually like building a relationship with this person to see if you ever want to do business with them, right? You're checking him out as much as he's checking you out, right? So what I would do is say, hey, happy holidays, man. I was thinking of you, or like, hey, happy holidays. I would love to just drop in with you after Christmas and say, hey, are you available this day or this day? Binary option. Don't ask permission.
Can I get a little bit of your time?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it. That's it. And I would do it, and I would not do it in a written text message. I would actually like use his name in a voice message or a video.
Yep.
Yep.
Guaranteed.
You should do it today after we off, like flat out.
You
easy
get
money.
to do it today.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Even if you record it like 50 freaking times in the next 30 minutes, if they keep recording, like you get to do it today. That's absolutely. You should do it with every single person that replied. And then I would then open up your beautiful calendar and put a reminder on January 2nd to follow up with them if they replied or not. Even if they replied, like you should still keep it on your calendar and stay connected with them. Because the only way that you're going to actually hold yourself accountable is by scheduling it in. Because to-do lists suck. You got to actually schedule it. Follow up with these people that I replied this message with, just in case if they haven't or if they did. You should be able to collect the bag off that, bro.
Okay, I can do that.
And then here's some. I'm even going a step further, brother, because I know you're going to ask this and know this is next. When you're on the phone with them, 60% of this conversation should be about them answering your questions because you're so radically curious. And then the only 20 out of the 40%, half your time is going to be about clarifying and repeating back exactly what you heard.
Yep.
That's it. And then give some free game, obviously, right? Like not attached. You'll collect the bag. Yep. Because at the end of the day, they're going to be like, I love this guy. He hears me. He knows my situation. I love what he does. How can I work with him? And then he's going to literally say the words, how do we work together? Or what's next? Or what can we do? What do you do? And that's how you know it's your deal to lose. Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. Run it.
That simple.
Run it. Oh, man, I'm fired up for you, bro, because you have to start off 2022 with the bag. With the bag. And that means you should
receive it.
Yeah, that means you get to write some more letters because that works. But you're gonna do a podcast, people, this time.
Yeah, I got a whole stack over here, so I'm definitely gonna, and actually right here. So I'm definitely gonna be
there we go.
Knocking these out tonight. And then doing a couple of video outreach messages. So for sure gonna knock that out. One more question with the blue fishing, because I almost feel like the position I'm in right now as far as the podcast is for a lot of the viewers out there, listeners that are maybe first year, second year, early stages of their business that might have felt some stagnation for some time, or COVID might have hit a little bit different than they were initially anticipating them flourishing for the year, or just battling through your own mental racket. When it comes to like some of the work I've done more recently that I really found a lot of fulfillment and joy in, I shouldn't say it's not a passion, but it kind of goes back to the ideal customer type or unicorn conversation. Had to do with working with the high school. And just doing the brand story for them and just knowing how much value is in the education space. If you're wanting to bluefish for this time of the year for a business rather than just hitting up like a real estate agent or more of a direct person like that, how would you go about doing bluefish marketing?
Desmond, I'll let you take this.
Man, I was gonna say literally the thing that you told me, like when I was in Ukraine, and I come up with crazy business ideas, crazy stuff. And I remember I was telling Heather, this is when I like bought my first property and all this. I was like really into real estate, and I was like going through a problem, and she was pretty much like pushing me or framing me to like think about it from like not creating or reinventing the wheel, but how can I provide value to someone who's like 3 feet from gold, from actually like, you know what I mean? So where I'm going with this is like with businesses, man, to like really bluefish, like you got to think of it as like they are looking at entertaining conversations that are directly correlated to boosting the bottom line and increasing the likelihood of success for the business in the long run, right? And so they're not against sales, they're not against marketing, but they're looking for value, right? And so in that case, man, I would do it either by two different approaches. The first approach is like actually just like do some work and like figure out what are they doing right, what are they doing wrong. So like if you're working with higher educational people, I would go through their website. I would insert into their funnels. I would see what kind of videos they have, what they have. I'll look into what their YouTube channel looks like. I'll look at how their brand marketing is. I would look at how they're on Twitter and Facebook. Like, what are they alumni? What are their people like? What are they communicating about their thing? And then I would do some type of like diagnoses or some type of audit or like come up with my own like little one pager. And I would directly reach out to that person through like I would print out my analysis and I would write I'll write like keep little post-it note and I would send like, hey, here's me giving you value and I really believe in what you want to create and I want to have a conversation. Are you open to reaching X desired result? It's hard for that person to say no to what's in their best interest. So if you say, hey, are you interested in, like, for instance, in this case, one of your clients, you help them double their, track to double their donations. Hey, are you interested to learn how to help another organization like yourself double their revenue, double their donations? Here's what I pulled so far because I'm super interested about what you do and have a ton more questions. Are you open to jump on the call? Explore. Boom. You did that 10 times, bro. You should at least get 3 to 4 meetings. At least.
Easily.
And at least close 1 out of 10 in your sleep. It's hard for
one thing. Taking notes.
Yeah, bro. One thing that's predictable about human nature is people like make decisions in their best interest. Like, period. There's like it's proven. Like humans are selfish, especially capitalists. We're in America, right? Like we are programmed to make decisions about what we want, what we care about, what we want, right? So that's how I Bluefish, bro. Like it's like there's no quick get rich. There's no like cheat code. This is just simply you making a decision to go deeper below the surface. And that's going to be the difference between you crushing it and not crushing it. Are you willing to put the work in and like think about like getting a holistic view of this business or these organizations? And are you willing to give value, not attached if you collect it back from them or not?
Precisely.
Boom. I'm on fire today, guys. I'm hyped. I'm hyped.
Yes, you are.
I'm tapped in. I'm tapped in, guys. I'm freaking tapped in. But yeah, man, does that give you some direction? Because 2022, man, it's going to be your year. Actually, Q1, we're going to be specific. Q1 2022 is going to be your quarter, bro.
I received that. I received that landed, bro. That landed. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Dope. Man, dude, the docket
you are on one today.
Mm-hmm. I am on one, guys. I am tapped in. So, but yeah, so the docket today. All right, I'm glad we had a long intro, but we're here. So one thing I wanted to talk about today in particular that I think is super important to be discussed is your awareness of like biases, right? Like confirmation bias, things of that nature. And obviously there's, some positive and some negatives around like having, being biased to a certain degree. Cause you have to like drown out the haters, the noise. You have to be like, I believe in myself. I believe in my vision. I believe in what I'm creating. However, you also have to be aware of the facts, right? Like what the market tells you, things like that. So Heather, I want you to unpack this because I love the way you think and it'll be pretty fun to kind of look underneath the hood.
Okay, what part of bias do you want me to unpack? Because that's a long and loaded question.
I know, I'm just throwing you a loaded grenade. Let's stick with this. Let's stick with the topic because we could break this down into a lot of different episodes. But let's stick to the kind of the topic at hand of related to what we talked about today of like bias of kind of maybe the stories that we tell ourselves regarding what the market is telling us, right? So like knowing when to pivot based upon the data that you're receiving, right? And knowing when to double down and knowing when you have a story. For instance, Josh is getting responses from his blue fishing, but some type of story or biases is holding him back from, taking it to the next level, right? Like he's not pivoting to the data correctly. So I'm pretty interested to kind of, hear you unpack in that regard, like looking at the market dynamics and like knowing when to pivot, when to double down.
All right. So here's the truth. The truth about it is that everybody says like, oh, I don't know. And I don't know is a load of shit. And you know it, and I know it, and everybody knows it. But it's not about whether or not you know or you don't know. Everybody goes, stops. Everybody like does, it's fight, flight, or freeze. Like when something new comes up, when something is uncomfortable. And bias is created based on the things that we've learned, based on the conditioning that we were raised in, based on lots of different factors. The bias is created in your head. Now, also the other side of that bias coin is when you get data or you get information that says this is not a good choice and you want the choice to be something specific, we have a tendency to also create bias and say, oh, no, this is a good choice. Like, I know this answer is a good choice. I know it's a good choice, even when it's not. So you have to take the story in your head, shut it off, pull out the data sheet, look at the numbers, and execute based on that, regardless of how you feel. Because your feelings don't count when it comes to success. Your feelings count when it comes to what you're successful in. They don't count at all when it comes to success. Success is a metric game. It's a numbers game, math. Is that the direction you wanted me to go?
Yeah, it was. That was perfect. And that can go so many different ways of like, you know, a marketing campaign, right? I love these creatives. I put so much money, like, especially when you put time and money into something, it tilts your biases to hold on to dear life to this thing. And it's like, yo, the market is telling you
it
this
don't work.
Creative sucks. Yeah.
Yeah.
even business models, right? I remember like yesterday you gave me a homework assignment because we're looking to, in the long run, get the agency into the crypto space, right? In terms of NFTs. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you gave me the homework assignment of like creating 3 different business models for what the agency could look like for this particular space. And I could see myself marrying myself into one of these business. Like I just be aware of like, okay, Desmond, whatever one we choose is an experiment, not attached. Doesn't matter if you invest 20 hours, 10 hours, $10,000 into testing this experiment. It's just a test. Don't like the parachute ain't working on this one. Time to switch out a part. Time to switch out a part. Like, save the business, right? Yep. I think that's super important to talk about because we invest so much time and money, especially if you like pay for a coach or a course or go to an event. Like I spent 10 grand in September on events and really like, I would say like one of them really only worked out really well. Right. I mean, I learned a lot from all of them, but like I wasn't attached to like it having to work out. Maybe it wasn't that season, but you know what I mean? So just like understanding that I think is super important. Josh, what's your take, man? What do you got on this topic? It could be a question. It could be whatever you want it to be.
I'll say this, Heather, with what you explained about confirmation bias, is there a certain way, like a form of practice or exercise that you like people going through to get themselves out of maybe their own confirmation bias or out of their own feelings and just deal objectively with those numbers or with the situation at hand that leads to the opportunity for success?
Yep.
Ooh, tell us more.
The people that want out of that, you talk to me on the phone every week. You work with me. Like, honestly, that's a work with me thing. A lot of that. So here's the true unpacking around that is a lot of it has to do with how somebody thinks. Like, and everybody has a different way of thinking. Everybody has a different way of processing. Everybody speaks a different language than they hear. They hear a different language than they learn. They execute in one way, but manifest in another. Like, it's really about it's about the human condition. Like, we're going to use Desmond as an example. Okay. So like Desmond needs to understand the working pieces or parts of something in order to execute whatever that first step is. So if I give him a piece of coaching or I give him something to go execute on, one of the things I also give him with that are the gears that make all of it work. I don't necessarily connect all the dots backwards, but I will give him the working pieces so that he understands where he's going in order to do step one. Now, when it comes to confirmation bias, like the truth is that you should never, ever, ever be attached to what something looks like or how it plays out. You should always be committed to gaining a result, not the result you want, not the best result, not the most successful, a result. Because if you gain a result in anything, it is simply an experiment. You come to the table and you say, okay, I'm going to do dolphin hunting. And in order to find the dolphins, I'm going to have to get some sonar. Well, maybe you don't actually have to get some sonar. Why don't you read a book on where to start with dolphins? Like, there's 100 ways to get to where you want to go. Don't be attached to how you get there. Not the road that you travel, not the vehicle you travel in, not any of those pieces. Be attached to getting a result and the outcome you're trying to cause.
And that's powerful. Thank you for that. What I hear in a way is like what you said the other day. It's pacing. It's self-awareness, is pacing, and those very principles go against what we know in our society today with like hustle culture. It's like run, whatever, just keep going balls to the wall, forget it. Like, who cares who you burn and what you burn along the way, as long as you keep going and you keep winning at the end of the day. And I think that for myself, and the reason why I asked that question is I believe that a lot of entrepreneurs, especially young entrepreneurs, are actually in that space right now, where it's so money driven. Like, my mindset that I'm working on shifting from is so money driven about business, because at the end of the day, we've always heard the cliche thing about, which it is true, but like to the extent of which it has to be true is, more subjective, where it says like, if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. We've always heard that with business, and it's like, it's so true. It's like, it's hard to run away from that. But the way that we go about making those dollars in a way, sometimes it's not so much of what you make, it's how you make it, and in that process, it's what you're essentially burning down along that path. Like, I feel like I've burned different bridges without even burning it, more so because I have a tendency when I get under pressure and I get under that sense of like, dang, I have to make money, I have to get things going, I lone wolf. So it's like, not like I'm actually trying to intentionally burn bridges and I'm trying to hurt people, and head bust people, but I'm doing the opposite. I try to go within myself so much that I forget about the world around me. And so with that, it's like, I forget the pacing, I forget, self-awareness, I forget all the things that, I forget to pick up a book just to find out, hey, what is a dolphin? Let's start there. Like, you can't catch nothing unless you actually understand what it actually is first, so starting there and then moving forward. So hearing you say that, it definitely brings a lot more clarity to what I believe, even my own process, and what I believe a lot of people, a lot of viewers, their process can end up being, and how it can actually, slow things down to then be more present and then be able to see what's actually going on with us on a day-to-day, which then brings the true growth that we're really in this for. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. You are really good at comprehending and like boiling down what you're hearing. Exceptional at it, actually.
Yeah, you get to bring that to your calls with the clients, bro, for sure. I know you do. I know someone told me that like going through a strategy session with you was like super valuable, like super, super valuable. So I know that you're naturally gifted at it. So, kind of listening to you guys, it sounds like we need to do like an episode on how the scientific method is directly correlated to business, right? In terms of experimenting and doing your research and like, what is your really clear hypothesis, and, putting it out there. What does the data tell you? And is the data back your hypothesis or not, right? And then redo your hypothesis, redo your experiment, and keep doing it over and over again until you kind of hit the zone of genius, right? Because that's what it is, right?
Mm-hmm. It really is.
Oh.
Well, I mean, a lot of it's about getting out of your own way. Like, and trust me, it is easier. It's easier said than done. I know that to be very true. It's not something I always do well. It's something I've studied for a long time, and I make a point to reflect on often. Nobody does it well. Like, getting out of your own way sucks. Period. It means we have to acknowledge that it's acknowledging like everybody's shit stinks. That my shit don't stink attitude doesn't work. Everybody poops. Even the Queen of England poops. It is what it is. But how you register that, how you take a look at it, and what's a good word for this? And effectively or like unbiasedly say, okay, well, this is happening and this is what I want to happen as a result of this. So what are the possibilities instead of what am I supposed to do? There's not one answer. People ask me, is this the right choice? I'm like, I don't know. Is it? A right choice for you can be a wrong choice for Desmond. A right choice for me can be the wrong choice for lots of other people, often. And I find it greatly amusing because my right choices are almost never anybody else's. But that has to do, again, going back to the human condition. How do we think? How do you think? How do you process? How do you best execute? How does getting the result that you desire? What's one of the 10,000 possible ways you can get there? Because there's not one answer. It's about effectively making a choice and then executing your commitment. And rant over.
Boom. Man, I have so much to unpack on this bias conversation that we're definitely going to be bringing this up on other episodes because just to kind of give you guys a teaser, the audience, because I think this is something super, super cool that I know a lot of people are definitely going through, and especially particularly with sales. I had a training today with a young lady, and she had just these amazing epiphanies around like my favorite. Okay, so in the sales process, the most favorite thing that you hear is usually stalling or time, right? Like, I don't have time. And so this young lady's responsibility was to book calls, right? And so I asked her, I was like, what's the biggest problem? She was like, well, people say that, they don't have time. And like, I was like, wow, she's looking for evidence of that being true, of some like deep rooted desire, probably not to be on the phone. Like she created a story around like that has to be true. And I unpacked. I was like, look, let me be honest with you. People who don't have time don't answer the phone of numbers that are not in their phone, period. Right. Even people who like, for instance, I was like, I pulled up my phone. I was like, look, I've been on the phone. I've been busy all day. And I literally put that. I was like, I have 8 unread messages and three missed calls from people I know, let alone like a number I don't know. So the fact that they say they don't have time, I literally laugh. Like I will start laughing and I'll say, hey, look, I don't want to waste your time. I will acknowledge it and then move on and then make the conversation about them. Right. So, hey, real quick, what do you do? Right. And she was like, oh, she started laughing like, oh, my gosh, you're right. Like when you're busy, you don't pick up the phone. So people who are saying they're busy, it's complete BS. Right. Like it's complete BS. So we're going to go into this because like I think the biasy thing is such a deep topic. Like you said, Heather, like there's so many different ways we can go there. And I think like the more consciously aware we are about our own biases can directly be connected to the results that we create in the world. Right? Because we are the common denominator in all our interactions. And we are radically responsible for the results that we create for ourselves. Straight up.
Yep.
Man, I can go on this for days, but I'm gonna leave that there. We're gonna come back to that because it's super important on the entrepreneurial journey, business journey, to be super aware of your biases. Cool. So I think it's time to kind of pivot to our last section of the day, which is the crypto topic, hot topic. I love some crypto.
Yeah.
Crypto. I went on a rabbit hole last night on DAOs, but we'll save that for another episode. I almost put money in today. I was like, I need to do some more research before I do it. So
you are grounded.
Yeah, I'm not spending no more money for us today. I don't have any more money to spend, actually. Even the money I do get, I'm just going to use it to pay off debt. So let's talk about scams in crypto. I think that's important, especially since most of the people listening to this probably are new to crypto or they're curious and never been in it. So I think it's important for us to talk about like how we like can smell a scam a mile away and maybe just give some like advice on like how to protect yourself from rug pulls. I think that's super important because it's newbies can get burnt, and I would love to kind of talk about that today. You guys down?
Yeah.
Cool. Who wants to throw the alley-oop?
You get to throw the alley-oop.
I throw the alley-oop. Okay.
Yeah, so this is definitely a committed topic for you.
Oh yeah. So let's go here. So like when you're like looking at investing into a project, you don't have to tell a particular project or what you're investing in. What are some of the like the mental checklists that you like kind of questions you ask yourself before you like participate in a project? Heather.
All right, that's loaded and completely unfair. Depends on the project, depends on the founder of the project. Personal relationship has a lot to do with that for me. But that has a lot to do with the pieces and parts of the world that I'm connected to. So, like when Gary Vee launched Be Friends, like it was really easy for me to say yes to the community, yes to the project, and buy into it blind. That's simple. So a lot of it has to do with where is the information coming from. For example, I'll give you a really good example of what not to do. If you have an Instagram account and you look at anybody looks at their message, their DM, you will have a whole nother folder of hidden requests that are nonsense messages about NFTs. Answer them. You have no idea what the project is, and you're getting a message from someone you don't know that you have nobody in common with. Just why the hell would you answer that? Do research, then take the name of the project and fucking Google it. Neat. That thing we have access to, the internet, gives us unlimited capability to make choices. Period. Do your fucking research. Do not ever take somebody's word for it. I don't take anybody's word for anything anywhere in the world, though. Like, I am a Nazi nerd when it comes to doing my research before I do anything. Like, if you're like, oh, this is the most amazing thing ever, I'm like, congratulations, send me a link. I'll take a look at it, and I will get back to you, and I will tell you if I think it's amazing at all. Research them, and then I'm going to look them up. I mean, when it comes to businesses, it's like I'll stalk their social, and I'll look at their website, and I'll jump into any free funnels that they have, and I will see if they're registered with the Better Business Bureau, and I will take a look at what people wrote on Yelp, because that is one place where you cannot control the comments. It's fucking hilarious. Try to get a Yelp review taken down, I can guarantee you'll fail. There's some nasty ones up there about Mark Zuckerberg. There's nasty ones up there about Tesla. There are nasty ones up there about Apple. You cannot get comments taken off of Yelp. It's hilarious. But then once you've done your research and you feel like you have a general idea of who, what, and why, then interact with the company and follow the same checklist, the same smell test, for lack of a better way to say it, you would with anything. Is this a good opportunity? Does it have is it a structured offer? Are there clear results? Is this something that I should or shouldn't be doing? Look at your finances. And looking for a quick turnaround, just don't. Nothing in life is free. It's either going to take blood, sweat, and tears or money. One or the other.
Boom. You know, it's funny. I was laughing when you said, let me do my research first. Like, send me the info. Let me do my research. Like, so when I was I was at a crypto event here in Colombia with a bunch of like rich Colombians and for this project, and I was like, yo, Heather, you should, I'm about to buy into this thing. You should jump in it with me. She's like, send me the information.
Send me the information. I'll take a look at it.
I haven't sent it to you. I'm going to send it to you today, actually. I'll try to buy something.
You are the only person. You're the only person in my ecosphere that gets grace on that one. Because if I say, send me the info and I'll take a look at it, and I don't get something from that person within 48 hours, I just won't look at it. You want to know why?
I forgot.
Because it's laziness and wasting my time. And I'm just teasing you guys. I'm just teasing you. But honestly, like blind messages, I get blind messages all the time. Like, oh, I really love your take on this. Or, oh, can you take a look at my business? This, can you tell me if I'm doing this right? And there's no cap on the amount of energy that I will spend helping people. I get people that I've never met in my life reaching out to me, asking me questions about their business. I don't answer them. if they provide me with the information that is requested in order for me to make an effective judgment. Otherwise, I'm not giving you I'm not going to blind coach you on something that may or may not be true, because I don't lie. I also don't make decisions based on somebody else's opinion ever. Like, nowhere in my life do I do that.
Big facts. Big facts.
Yeah.
Josh, when you're looking at projects, man, 'cause I know you're in crypto as well. You know, what are some of your questions? Just a couple, right? Just so like you could protect yourself. Your lawyer risk.
I'm a lot of what Heather was saying is definitely spot on with the way I try to approach it. I was that guy that went off of a friend's maybe hype train and blew $800 with not even a week pass. That's why a lot of people like equate it to like penny stocks in a sense, or some of them at least. And just because a lot of times people are in it to get rich quick, or they're doing these meme coins and stuff like that really have no substance to them, other than like a temporary like social media buzz. So for me, I try to, and I get those messages all the time, Heather, from random people from like Zimbabwe and Bangladesh that are like, you'll love such and such as NFT. I'm like, how do I even know? How did you even find me, brother? But
yeah.
So besides like avoiding third party, information and those type of things, I think the main thing I look for now, after having gone through trial and error, for the most part, is I look at what stuff is consistent and has substance to it, meaning that what is within my risk tolerance, which I have a pretty high risk tolerance, but what within my risk tolerance would actually allow my stomach to be, okay with me investing in this, and what information actually backs up the sniff test that shows that, hey, this is actually something that is that's actually
awesome,
here
useful,
to stay.
Effective, anything.
Exact, something like that, where I know it's not just going to be here today, gone tomorrow. Like, I'm no longer into just trying to trade a bunch of crypto just to flip something real quick and then make a quick buck. I'm looking at something that I know I can invest in for the long haul. I can, if anything, dollar cost average into it and just leave it alone, just let it ride. And with that, for me, I've actually realized that what helps my stomach sit better are smart contracts. So if it's not a smart contract or anything in that realm, I don't care to even look at it. I won't waste my time. It's not something that I believe is here to stay. So it's, essentially it's me buying back my own time by not having to, or by being so aware of what would actually intrigue me and what just is like, okay, whatever, cool. You can Dogecoin, which I invested in. That was one of the ones that I was like, okay, I didn't get out when the SNL with Elon Musk came up, and I was like, oh no, it's going to ride past $1. I knew I should have got out. That thing went down like faster than Goliath at Six Flags. I'm telling you, ever since then, I was like, okay, you know what? You get to start doing things different. You can't just get in willy-nilly because everybody else is getting in. Like, you need to, risk management. You're a risk manager. You're an investor, but you're also a risk manager. You're not just someone that's just throwing money, playing YOLO plays all day. So those are the main things I look for, to be honest, is mainly smart contracts and just staying away from third-party information. And as long as it passes the sniff test and the gut test, hey, more than likely I will invest in it.
Man, that's dope. I would say definitely the number one thing I would say is stay away from the DMs. I think the number one thing is stay away from the DMs and stay away from clicking links that aren't in the official like channels or like areas, right? Like CoinMarketCap or Twitter, like their actual Twitter profile. I mean, sometimes you got to be careful there too, because sometimes people make fake Twitter accounts that are really similar. So like just being really like, be really smart before you click on links. Like, be very cautious. I think that's where people get hurt the most. And I think a lot of that is attributed to the whole, like, everyone, like the T's and C's thing, right? Like how, like everyone just scrolls past T's and C's and press, yes, I accept, take my kidney, or yes, take my data, right? Like, yes, like, we're conditioned. And I think we're quick to press that trigger because we want to buy something, right? So I'll say check the links. And then number two, I would like, here's my, like, I'm not trying to give you advice, financial advice or anything like that, but I just want to, I just hate seeing people get hurt and destroy their mental states and their energy states. And so like, I personally recommend stay away from freaking flipping, right? Like that is literally the poor man's attitude of investing, right? If you want to flip crypto and NFTs, like you have a better shot of like flipping option contracts, actually learning the options game. You have a way better chance to be successful, predictable than trying to like flip JPEGs. And I see so many people like, you know, risk money they don't have to try to flip something real quick that they need at a certain time period and burn themselves and like take a loss, especially in a project that probably is really good in the long run, but their approach was all messed up. So like stay away from the flips and get skin in the game and something that you like a community or a project or something that like rings your bell and just learn, because the only way you're going to learn is if you play the game, right? It's like you can't watch someone play Madden or Mario Kart and like learn how fun the game is or like what the game is about unless you actually pick up the controller and like get involved, even if it's like $5, $10, whatever you can afford to invest. But yeah, play the game, get skin in the game and learn. that's my little take of like avoid scams. Yeah, that's huge. It's huge.
Correct me up.
Yeah, let's go. And we're gonna come out with a lot of content on this, like between us three. Like, you know, we're gonna like really try to give you guys as much value to kind of get involved into this space. So like look out for like little solo episodes. We might do some episodes, like short episodes on how to buy an NFT, like how to like, you know, actually give you guys a checklist on Notion of like, ask these questions, right? Avoid these things. I want to kind of give you guys as much resources as possible because we believe that, you know, the Web3 and what's happening in these spaces is where society's going. And, you know,
well, it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere.
It's just
isn't.
Yeah. The amount of brain, like there's people leaving Google, Facebook, and FANG companies who are getting paid $250,000 to $1 million a year on a salary and a bunch of benefits, and they're walking away from those jobs to take startup positions in crypto, right? Like they're walking away from these luxury jobs, like very like, you know, revered jobs.
Lifestyle.
Yeah. It's something different in these communities. This we all gonna make it mentality. It's different. So yeah, guys, we'll hook you up with what to do and how to get involved. And if you're a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur, listening to this, yeah, you get to learn the game. If you have a community, you get to learn the game, right? If you've been around the block a few times and you have an email list and you have a great brand, you get to learn this game ASAP.
Yeah.
ASAP. Oof, I'm stoked. Let's go. I just got rejuvenated at the end of the pod. But so we're gonna end it off with our free game segment. Free game. Who wants to start off with the free game?
I'll go.
Cool.
All right. So everybody wants to get from point A to point B. Nobody will ever have the same path, and always do a gut check. If your gut says no, there's a reason why. So figure out what that is and then execute. But don't ever just execute because you feel like you have to, or you feel like everybody else is already doing it.
Oh man, I think I'm gonna keep mine simple, and I think it's super important, and it's pay yo people, right? Pay yo people. Don't be cheap. Pay on time. Pay often, and pay your people, right? Like period. I think that's super important. Don't be cheap when it comes down to like taking care of your people at all. Even a customer, even if it comes into a customer internally, don't cheap out on that. Abundance mindset. What goes around comes around. So I wanted to leave that there. What about you, J Money?
Nice.
I would say nowadays, one thing, it kind of goes into what we were talking about before with blue fishing. But the main thing is that I see often that people, especially if you're in a service-based business or industry, whether you're an entrepreneur, don't sleep on what effective video outreach can actually do as far as, you acquiring new customers, you being able to sell yourself to people, open up doors, open up conversations. That's one of the most underutilized thing right now in the video space, in my personal opinion, just because people are able to see your mannerisms, they're able to see your charisma, your tonality, how you talk, how you present yourself, which no word, I shouldn't say no words will ever be able to do, but words wouldn't, or good copy wouldn't portray you as good as you, visually. So always recommend, start doing video outreach as far as, being able to connect with more people, and allow that to be the foot in the door that is going to create a wow factor in a way that a lot of people are not utilizing right now.
Oh, let's go. And we made it, guys. We made it to the end of another episode. Like always, give us a like, a thumbs up, subscription, a comment, a review, a share, whatever your heart desires. We're here to give you as much value as humanly possible. We'd love to get some feedback from you guys. So don't forget to go to www.campfirecapitalism.com. If you want to be on the pod, feel free to reach out to us. We love to play with other entrepreneurs in the sandbox. And it was great having you guys. So we're out. Peace. If you call